Fuck is up, everybody? Today is day 22 of learning Spanish. Now, I've let me prove to you guys I've done my homework. Historia de 16. Oh shit! Fuck! Fuck! I ripped my book, my precious book. Historia 17. Bang! Part A, Part B. Fuck! Oh well. Tomorrow's problem. Alright. So, last time I was reading out a bunch of comments and yeah, I was making a, what would you call it? A solution. So I was using your feedback, I was listening to it, I was putting it in my brain, and I was figuring out a solution about how I could make my method better. So instead of just writing the stories, maybe I could do something else. And yes, I have included something else into my routine. So what is that, you might ask? Now, so because I'm fucking really fucking smart, I thought that I would, instead of making myself do more work, I would sort of incorporate a method that ran with the lifestyle that I currently have. Because in order for me to actually do anything, I have to set the bar really fucking low so I'll actually do it. Because I'm not super disciplined. That's not really part of my nature. I'm a bit of a lazy cunt sometimes. So what I've done is that I really wanted to incorporate some listening practice. So I've done a lot of reading, which is converting the ink on the piece of paper into a translation, an image within my mind. And that is the skill I've predominantly been practicing. Now, this improves my grammar and it also improves my vocabulary. Now, I wanted to also increase my grammar, not necessarily vocabulary, because you can't really do that through the listening. But I want to include more listening, so I'm not going to. That'll help me form patterns within the language if I can listen more, and also it'll get me used to the pronunciation. It'll get me used to just listening to Spanish in general. So I think that that'd be a great next step in terms of input. We have reading and listening, and I do a lot of reading, so let's incorporate some listening. So how am I going to do that? I have pretty much, I'm not sure if you guys have this terrible habit also, but scrolling on TikTok and Instagram has got to be one of the biggest wastes of time, and I'm pretty sure most people agree with that. However, if you want to, this is not necessarily going to be the most productive use of time, but if you want to, instead of combat that addiction, instead fuel it, but just channel it in a slightly different direction so you can maintain your degenerate behavior, but also sort of learn at the same time, then here's a little hack what I did. So this is going to help me include more listening into my learning. Let me show you guys something. Pretty much I went on TikTok and I went into the app and I changed the language in the app. So you go to settings and you go to languages and you click Spanish, right? As the language of the app. Now, the likeliness of you running into a video, a TikTok that is all in Spanish, like increases significantly when you change the language of the app. That's why if you notice with mine, don't mind the big booty bitches. Okay, so the point is that there's Spanish now on my TikTok, and so this helps me because I'm not someone who is always extremely motivated, and sometimes when I just want to sit there and fucking impregnate my mind with bullshit, then I can do so, but at the same time I'm exposing myself to the vocabulary that a lot I've already learnt within all the stories I've written down. So this gives me motivation because it means that what I'm doing is real. It's actually practical in the real life and it's applicable in real life. So it gives me a bit of motivation that way, and it also gives me a little bit more exposure to words that I don't know. And I'm like, so even if you don't know a word, for example, if you've seen it at least, you even if you don't know the meaning of it, you will still recognize it the next time you see it. And so that'll give you an idea of how common it is to run across that word. And then once you do find the definition, you'll feel a great sense of satisfaction, I think. So there's a bunch of different, and I could go into the details, but there's a bunch of different benefits for listening and stuff like that. So because I'm listening, I'm reading, I'm doing all that, and I'm staying up to date with pop culture in the Spanish realm of Spanish-speaking countries. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That is it. So let me go. Let me know what you guys think about that method. Maybe I might run into some obstacles by doing that because it just, it's not long form content. Some could argue that if you're listening to long form content, then that'll give you a greater understanding and a better idea. But the problem is that I don't necessarily watch that much long YouTube videos or movies or anything like that as my entertainment. So I've really had to find a way to do it that I actually would sort of do, a little more naturally. And this seems like a method that could comply with that. Anyway, let me know. Let me know what you guys think. But that's it for today. Hope you guys have a fantastic day and a fantastic week and a fantastic year. See you guys.